So I probably need to apologize for everybody. I've been kind of in the last week or so. I've been kind of mean sounding, and I don't mean to be mean. I'm just mad at the system, and I know it's not going to change, and I know everybody has their own process and waking up and their own way of thinking and their own way of doing things. I understand that, and so that's pretty much what I wanted to say. That it's just an apology for being mean, and it's kind of like. Some people might say, well, you weren't mean, but some people say, yeah, you've always been mean. Who knows? I'm not mad at people. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes him. Jesus went to the cross for humans. And the devil wants us mad at each other. He wants us mad at the humans. Yeah, the unsaved and the goats and the sharks and the snakes and the narcissists and the psychopaths. I know they're evil, and I know they chose the evil path, but they got fooled. They got fooled by the devil. It's not saying it's not okay. It's not saying it's okay for them to do what they do, but God doesn't want to see anybody go to hell. And so we shouldn't either. It's really the devil who's deceiving these people like Bill Gates and Dr. Fake. They're deceived. And they're deceived and they're deceiving people. They're deceiving the whole world. It's sad. And they're doing it for money, greed. The world, the flesh, and the pride of life controls them. And so it's only by the grace of God that anybody wakes up, that any of us wake up. It's just sad. That's all. And it's just frustrating because you can speak the truth very clearly and very plainly, and because of all the system lies and all the games that have been played on people, mind games. It's like MK Ultra mind control on everybody. And so somebody comes on the scene speaking truth, and they don't trust you because this is MK Ultra mind control. I mean, somebody could come in and be your best friend, and you wouldn't trust them because you've been controlled by the system. And the Bible says that in the last days, everybody will be truce breakers, lovers of self, disobedient to their authority, and it's sad. I'm gonna make this short. I really want to put across to everybody that the human is not your enemy. And even if they are your enemy, you're not their enemy. The Bible talks about giving them bread and water. The narcissist really is not your enemy. Yeah, there are malicious narcissists out there. But why are they doing it? Because they're void inside. They have no identity. They're just a dark void. And there's some narcissist teachers on there who say, well, get revenge on the narcissist. No, you don't want to get revenge. That's what they want to do. They want to make you into a copy of them. You actually want to be an example to them. You want to be an example to the narcissist that, hey, you can't make me into a copy of you. You can't make me into a copy of the devil, because God. I'm on God's side. And so I'm not trying to justify anything, being mean with what I say. And everything I say is the truth. It's the whole world is a Jezebel system. Our old Adamic nature is the Jezebel. Our old rebellious Adamic nature, the old Adam, is the Jezebel spirit. And so we've all been enemies of God. We've all been enemies of the truth. Romans 5:8 tells you, while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. We were all enemies of the cross at one point. And so to have the patience and the love, the agape for people who are still going against themselves, the Bible talks about it. If peradventure you can rescue somebody who's going the wrong way, if you can pull them up, pull them out. Those who oppose themselves. So anybody who's rebellious, anybody who's rejecting Christ, anybody who's rejecting the truth, they're actually rejecting their own self. They oppose their own self. They're really not your enemy. They are their own enemy. If you do right, you keep the boundaries, you think right, you walk right. I'm not saying be perfect, but if you have your heart right, you want to do right. It's all about your intention, your heart. You can forgive your enemy. It doesn't mean you have to let the boundary down. If you got a snake, you respect the snake, but you don't go in the snake's territory. You don't go out in the woods without some good shoes on, some boots. You can see that bear or that lion or that shark, but that's their territory. And if you try to pet a shark, it's going to bite you. So you still set the boundaries. But you can watch a shark and a bear and a lion and say, hey, they're just doing what their nature's telling them to do. These reptilian shapeshifters, and I'm not talking about some actual reptilian shapeshifter where they're shapeshifting. There might be, but I'm talking about these unsaved people who can shapeshift into a demon and try to kill you. They're these people are real. These psychopaths are real. But you just need to know they're real. It doesn't have to make you angry. It doesn't have to make you bitter or unforgiveness. If you've been married to one, or if you dated one, or if you uh, were raised around them, you don't have to. You don't have to see the MK Ultra mind control abuse doesn't have to control you if you cut their noise off. You cut their system thinking off. The way they think doesn't have to be the way we think. And so they're bombarding you with this stuff all the time. You're being bombarded with lies of the system 24/7. It's in the music, it's in the TV, it's everywhere. It's just like the movie The Matrix. You're surrounded by it. It's just like the movie The Truman Show. It's just like the movie Dark City. There's so many movies. It's just like Metropolis, 1920. 29 or something, the movie Metropolis. It's encroaching upon us, but we don't have to be a part of it. The AI machine man, the 666 cube AI machine man is encroaching upon us, but we don't have to embrace it. We don't have to live in it. Why do you think about this? The whole system's a setup. The whole system's a setup. So I got a little bit distracted there, but that's fine. I think this will continue on. What I was saying was the whole system is designed to get you from seeing the truth. It's a setup to get you from being the real you, being the true you, to be fake, to get you to live in the cube the cube life, I always wondered why I couldn't wear a watch and I couldn't sit in a cube. Every time I worked in an office, like in a cube, I could only do it for like 2 years, and I went stir crazy. I went kind of crazy because I couldn't just sit in that little office. It drove me crazy. I had to be moving, you know. So this is my apology for being kind of mean, because I know it's not. The average person doesn't even know. The only way you're going to see it is if God reveals it to you, that this whole thing is a construct to hide the truth. It's a construct to hide the truth, you know. And those of us who see the truth, and we spend our whole life looking for it, and we're trying to reach out and spread it, and then they shut us down and hide it. Make up stuff, lie, defame us, shut us down, censor us. It's like the ones who do hear you, it's like it's like, wake up, wake up. But everybody wakes up in their own timing, you know. It's their own time frame. Long story short, it's just frustrating. That's all. It's an apology for whosoever. I know for a fact that God is in control, and He will bring His elect out no matter what. He will bring His elect out. The hound of heaven will not fail. If you ever watched the Star Trek series, the prophet said, He is the Cisco. He will not fail. We know God is the true Cisco. He's the true leader. And He will not fail. He will bring His elect out. Even when we fail, even as messengers, as ambassadors, as strangers and pilgrims down here, even when we fail, He still can use His people, because He won't fail. You understand? If I mess up, if I get angry for no reason, if I get frustrated, if you mess up, God never messes up. Even God can even use the mistakes to bring about His plan every time.